Russia. Russia is planning to build 2 railways to China, which are 2 super-sized projects. The country hopes to develop trade through China and quickly restore its domestic economy. The budget for these projects is at least $260 billion. Undoubtedly, this is a great plan, but it is also a controversial one. Upon completion of the railway, Russia's situation will improve significantly, and it is likely that Russia will be able to further its development. The reason why Russia is building a railway to China is closely related to the current international situation. In recent years, Russia has been facing sanctions from the United States and Europe, and over the past year, due to the Ukraine war, it has experienced unprecedented economic sanctions. The economic sanctions have had a significant impact on Russia's economy, causing a noticeable decline. Historically, Europe has been the primary market for Russia's natural gas exports. However, with Europe no longer importing energy resources from Russia, Russia has turned to increase its natural gas exports to China by 63.4%. This shift in export destinations is a substantial change for any country. One of the railways in the plan is from Russia's Novosibirsk to China's Xinjiang, with a 55-kilometer border between Russia's central region and China's northwest region, located in the Altai Mountains. If the railway can cross this mountain range, it will connect the railways of the 2 countries. In 2022, the China-Europe Railway Express operated 16,000 trains, averaging 44 trains per day, which reach over 200 cities in Europe. Xinjiang is the primary departure station for the China-Europe Railway Express, with more than half of the trains leaving China from ports located in Xinjiang. As trade between China and Europe continues to increase in frequency, it is evident that Xinjiang has become a new hub for trade. The Siberian region in central Russia is remote from the western region of Russia, requiring travel across the Ural Mountains. Additionally, the harsh Siberian climate often leads to road closures. However, this region is close to Urumqi, China, with a distance of only 1,400 kilometers from Novosibirsk, which is half the distance to Moscow. Therefore, many residents of central Russia hope for a railway to Xinjiang, China, allowing them to take the train directly to Urumqi, rather than transporting Chinese goods to Moscow and then transferring them to Siberia. If this were to happen, the transportation distance for Chinese goods to the central region of Russia would be reduced from 6,500 kilometers to just 1,400 kilometers, without the need for additional transfers. This would provide amazing benefits in terms of transportation costs and timeliness. Rough estimates suggest that transportation costs could be reduced by as much as 50%. Furthermore, products such as grain and agricultural goods from the Altai Krai, as well as coal from Kemerovo Oblast, which are sensitive to transportation prices, could be exported to China as a result of the reduction in transportation costs. China's demand for industrial products could also revitalize Novosibirsk, the 3rd largest city in Russia. The resulting economic development could also help the central region of Russia, which has been experiencing a population decline, to regain its vitality. Xinjiang has become a new trade center, which is why Russia wants to build a railway to connect to it. However, constructing the railway is extremely challenging. The border area is situated in the Altai Mountains, which are covered with mountains and forests. To cross this mountain range, at least 2 bridges and 3 tunnels need to be built. These projects involve ecological protection areas, complex terrain, and harsh conditions. The challenges that will be encountered during the construction of this railway are unimaginable. According to engineering experts' estimates, based on the tunnel construction process, of a similar difficulty level to that of the Laos-China Railway, it will take at least 5 years to complete the construction of this passage. A high-speed railway, connecting the capital cities of Moscow, Astana, and Beijing, is another project of the railway plan. It will span 3 countries and have a total length of up to 7,000 kilometers. This railway is expected to be built using Chinese standards, just like the China-Kyrgyzstan-Uzbekistan Railway. In the past, it took 6 days to travel from Moscow to Beijing by train. As the train passed through the entirety of Siberia, which is known for being the most magnificent scenic train journey in the world. However, for frequent travelers of this train, it is not interesting at all. The Siberian Railway, which is the world's longest railway, is still operational but is facing maintenance or upgrading issues. Therefore, constructing new railways or upgrading existing ones has become a pressing matter. If the high-speed railway between Moscow and Beijing is built, the journey time would be reduced to just 30 hours. Russia is looking to build this railway to improve trade with China and make up for lost market share in the West. High-speed railways have been shown in China and global to be an effective mode of transportation, promoting economic development and enhancing people's quality of life. Despite the challenges posed by the huge investment and engineering complexity of this project, such concerns are unnecessary. China has the relevant experience and sufficient funding to invest in the project. The construction of this colossal railway is expected to take over 5 years to complete. Although China has both the willingness and ability to construct the two planned railways, the main obstacle to these projects lies in Russia. Historically, Russia has been more interested in building oil and gas pipelines to China than railways. However, the primary beneficiaries of energy cooperation are Russian oligarchs, with ordinary people not seeing significant benefits. Conversely, the Chinese are equally interested in railway projects, as they are in energy projects. This is because railways not only expand China's market for products and increase imports from Central Asia and Russia, but also establish more transportation routes across the entire Eurasian continent, thus bringing the economies of the entire continent together, aligning with China's interests. Many traditional Russians are unable to accept the fact that China has become more powerful than Russia, and now Russia has to rely on China economically. It is even more difficult for them to accept the use of Chinese standards in the Russian railway system, despite the fact that both China and the European Union use the 1,435 mm rail gauge standard. However, the harsh reality has forced them to accept this fact. Russia is determined to maintain its influence in Central Asia. However, as its economic power weakens and political influence declines, the region is becoming much more difficult to control. Even the United States is expanding its influence in Central Asia. A few days ago, Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited Central Asia, but his efforts were in vain, because the price the U.S. can offer to Central Asia is only a fraction of what China can offer. China is interested in a peaceful and stable Central Asia, and does not want the Central Asian countries to provoke Russia. Russia has had to accept China's influence in Central Asia. The recently achieved significant progress of the China-Kyrgyzstan-Uzbekistan railway is a prime example. This railway was included in China's plans 25 years ago, but it could not begin due to Russia's opposition. Because of the war in Ukraine, Russia is facing unprecedented economic sanctions from the West, and strengthening economic cooperation with China is a reluctant choice. However, this choice is undoubtedly correct because, compared to investing resources into war, investing them in national development is clearly more beneficial to the people.